the masterclass matters to me personally and to the entire team of co-founders. There are 4 co-founders of this initiative, and then we have a number of volunteers and champions who work with us. The question is, how does a fatherless, a homeless, a hopeless, and an Iregbu dropout teenager go from that position to standing in front of you today, inspiring you to take hold of your future? Well, that's my story. What's yours? The Masterclass is all about inspiring lives. It's about connecting stories. It's about inspiring you not to settle for less, not to settle for average, because we believe that you were made for more. I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to tell me who you think that is. Who is that? Hungry, desperate. That was me in 2002. And that picture tells me his story. I was born, my mother had 6 of us. And of the 6, to date, I'm the only one to walk through the steps of a university. I was given no chance in life. Everyone said to me, maybe not literally everyone, many people said to me, you've got no chance. You've got no chance. By 15, I was sleeping rough on the streets, homeless. I lived in a slum for years. Life gave me no chance. But I knew I had an aptitude for learning, but I didn't have the means and the resources to take it forward. And so when I told a few people that I wanted to go to university, they said, nah, how was that ever going to happen? I nearly dropped out of high school. The local charities saw my plight and gave me the chance to finish high school. If they hadn't stepped in, I wouldn't be standing here today. And eventually, after a couple of refusals, I got my visa to come to the UK to study. Studying in the UK, in John Moores, by the way. Any surprise? Any surprise? There's something about Liverpool John Moores University that I just love. It's a great place. So I went to Liverpool John Moores University. Half of the time, I had to stay hungry because I was paying my school fees, £9,000 a year and more. Life was tough. I came into this country with nothing but just £500, which was donated to me by well-wishers. But I worked my way. I persisted. I refused to give up. And eventually, guess what happened? In 2008, I graduated. Now, that's a picture of me on the 7th floor of Barham Street in Liverpool John Moores University for the recognition of what I achieved in university. First class degree honors, best student, School of Computing. And the British Computer Society across Merseyside said I was the best graduating student on their record for that year. I don't say that to big myself up, but I say that to hopefully inspire someone here. And since 2008, it's just gone higher and higher and higher. I've had the privilege of working with some of the most amazing companies in the UK and in Germany and across some parts of Europe. Now, bear in mind that picture on the left as I say this, just to show you that impossible is nothing. I've been privileged to write 2 books, and I speak at events every now and then. But for me, the most important of all is my family. and have a second one coming in a few weeks' time. How does a near school dropout, a homeless kid, go from what I've just described to you to having the opportunity to be here today? When life beats you up, you don't give up. When life hits hard, you find a way to stand. Life may be tough, but you can get through it. You can get through it. And it's this sense of our journey, when I say our, I mean the team who've put the masterclass together, our individual and collective journeys that have made us to put together the masterclass. Because what we're trying to do is not just about us. It's more than us. It's not just about my story. I want my story to connect with yours. We want our stories to connect with yours. Because wherever you are now, don't settle for average. Don't settle. So why the masterclass? Why? And that why question is so crucial. There are three things I want to talk about as I unravel why we've decided to put together the masterclass. Number one, we believe that formal education, the end of it is not just about getting a degree. It's not just about getting a degree. That each and every one of us, you owe yourself a debt to challenge yourself to go over and beyond. Don't settle for average. And that sense of you can't settle for average is so, we're engrossed by that because we don't want students, we don't want young people to settle for average. And that's the message that we're spreading. And secondly, we believe that your degree or your job, whatever you do, is not your final destination. But these are just enablers that you're given to help you chart the course of your life. Where you are today is an enabler. Don't think that because you have a degree, that's the end of it. No, there is more. You have to aim for more. And thirdly, the world we live in is increasingly tough and challenging. And as young people, we need a mindset that is primed for success. By the masterclass, we believe that you have the capacity for greatness and for excellence. But you have to develop that. You have to develop yourself and not just be content with where you are. So that's our ethos. That's who we are. And it's this sense of there's got to be more to life that has really inspired us to put together this platform. And we want you to take that journey, this journey with us. We want to inspire young minds that wherever you are, there is more. There is more. We're just going to take some time to watch a video. And after that, we're just going to have a bit of an interaction. Just want to watch this video. I believe it's a really powerful video. And after that, we'll take it from there. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes. The why was born out of pain. It was never an academic or commercial exercise. It was born out of a time in my life many years ago, 10 years ago, where I had lost my passion for what I was doing. I owned my own small business. I was living the American dream. Superficially, my life was fantastic. And yet, I didn't want to wake up and do it again. And I was embarrassed by that. You know, who am I to complain about my life? My life seemed perfect, and yet I hated it. And so I kept it to myself. Every ounce of my being, all the energy that I had was invested in pretending that I was happier, more successful, and more in control than I felt. And it was debilitating, quite frankly. Strange things start to happen when you put yourself in that cycle and the stress starts to build. You start to become paranoid. So for example, I was convinced that my employees hated me. I didn't go out much, and it was really a bad time. And it wasn't until a friend of mine came to me concerned that I wasn't acting myself and basically offered me nothing more than moral support. Whatever you need, I got your back, I'm worried about you. And it was that simple act that gave me the courage to face my own problem. And it was that simple act that gave me the courage to seek out a solution, to go back to the way I used to feel, to be passionate about something again. There was a confluence of events. And I made this discovery that every single organization on the planet, even our own careers, always function on the same three levels: what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. And it was based on the biology of human decision making. It wasn't some highfalutin management theory. It was based on brain stuff. And I realized I knew what I did and was good at it. And I knew how I did it. I could tell you what was different or special about the way I did things, but I couldn't tell you why I was doing it. That was the missing piece. You have to have all three. I became obsessed with this thing called the why. I figured out how to find my why, and it restored my passion to levels I had never experienced before. And more importantly, I figured out how to help others find theirs. And I did what anyone would do. When you discover something beautiful, you share it with your friends. And my friends started making crazy life changes themselves. And they started finding happiness and passion that they'd never experienced before. It was me solving my own problem that happened to help others solve it for them too. And people just kept inviting me, and I just kept saying yes. I was making huge decisions that were really easy to make. Like I shut down my office and started over again because I realized the business I had built was so inconsistent with my why. All my friends thought I went out of business and they were worried about me. It was the easiest decision I ever made. In other words, when you know your why, the filter is clear. It's not like there are options. The option is obvious. There's only one option: share, give, inspire. And everything that I've achieved, any success that I've enjoyed, has all been 100% because of the gracious, just amazing generosity of people around me. My friends, my colleagues, people who just believe what I believe. They're the ones who either introduced me to others, or took a risk, or said, let me try that, or bought a book, or watched a TED Talk, or more importantly, sent it to somebody else because they thought they would be inspired by it. For all of the things that I've done over the past decade, I still feel like I'm at the beginning. I've been saying it for 10 years. When everybody says to me, you know, congratulations on X, Y, or Z, my answer is always the same: tip of the iceberg. And I think that's what keeps me inspired, which is, for me, it's a journey. I'm on the right path. I'm walking past the right mile markers. In other words, I know I'm making progress to the vision that I have to build this world in which the vast majority of people wake up every single morning inspired to go to work, feel safe when they're there, returning home at the end of the day fulfilled by the work that they do. When I started the race, I ran by myself. And it's lonely, lonely, lonely. And now I got like 1,000 people to the left and 1,000 people to the right and 1,000 people behind me. And I look around, I'm like, yep, we're gonna change the world. We're gonna change the world.
That was inspirational, wasn't it? And that brings us to this important question that I don't know if you've ever had the chance to ask yourself that question. What's your why? What's your why? What I want us to do now is, on your tables, I want to have this conversation with someone who is sitting with you. And try and share with them a bit about what you think your why is. How many of us are in universities here? Don't be shy. Even the keynote speaker